At the FayWhat show, we need to help my gay boys. I mean, they are like blood running through my veins. And in our segment called Dear FayWhat, I provide my expert lesbian knowledge and my vast experience as a living, breathing gay boy in a lesbian's body to help my fellow gay boys. And this week, Who Needs a Last Name sent me an email. Dear FayWhat and Hot Boy in Bed. That's you, by the way.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, my husband and I have a regular friend with benefits we've been seeing for the past few months. We use apps to find guys into threesomes, and we always play together. The first time we met this guy, the chemistry was great and the sex was even better. We all exchanged first names, but since we weren't sure we'd ever see him again, that felt like enough. But now he's become a regular part of our rotation. Rotation, wow. After we hook up, there's always some light banter, weekend plans, TV shows, that kind of thing. He's mentioned the neighborhood he lives in and that he's partnered and open, but that's about as far as it goes. We are not looking to date him or start a throuple. Still, after doing very intimate things together, I'm starting to feel curious about what he does for a living. What's his last name? It feels a little strange not to know anything more personal about someone I've seen naked more times than I can count. That said, I don't want to make it weird either. Maybe I'm being too hetero about the whole thing. Should I just keep enjoying the super hot sex and leave it at that? Or is it okay to ask a few more questions without crossing a line? XOXO, love the show. Signed, Who Needs a Last Name? All right, Brian, in your expert opinion as a living, breathing, actual gay boy, what would you tell Who Needs a Last Name?
Okay. First of all, in a world where social media allows you access to know anything and everything about somebody, let's be clear, most gay boys would try and find out what they can on their own. That's number one. Number two, if you really if you have a consistent rotation with this person, then obviously you probably should know more than just their first name. And also, we live in a small community. It's always a small world. So I think a conversation needs to be had between the three if it's become a situationship. Because otherwise, that's when things get like a little twisted. You know, communication's key for me on everything.
Communication's key, especially in relationships, you know, and it has to be even more important in open relationships because there are rules, right? At least by what I know, right? There are rules. It's like, okay, if we're going to be with a third, we both have to agree on them, blah, blah, blah. And maybe part of the rules is that you don't know the last name. Right. You know what I mean?
But what happens if you're out and
you run into them?
And you run into them and their partner.
Yeah.
You've got to all be on the same page. That's my thing. So here's the thing. They have to decide if what they have is something they want to keep going on. And if that's the case, then you probably are friends. You're friends with benefits.
You're friends with benefits. Yeah. But it's tough. You know, I agree with Brian. I get it. Communication is key, especially when it comes to, you know, this is a person that's part of a couple sending us this email, right? This is not the third, right? Sure. So that communication has to be key, right? But then there's a little part of me, the little gay boy in the back of my mind that it wants to tell you, don't fuck it up. This is good sex with a hot guy, right? Like, so be careful with the questions that you ask, right? Like maybe you want to know more because it's time to know more, but maybe you don't want to know everything. Maybe that's going to take away from the hotness of it all.
It's true, but that's the hard thing about like something being a hookup versus becoming routine is that, let's be honest, we're all human. Yeah. Eventually, feelings can happen. And it doesn't matter if you know their last name. If feelings happen,
that's it. Yeah.
It's a different game.
But the key to this email was rotation, Brian. I have a feeling this couple has a very like happy, joyous sex life and their rotation is plentiful.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Robust. Yeah. It sounds like it. So if that's the case, then there's no harm, no foul if it does go south, right?
Yep, exactly. So, you know, you got both sides of it. You know, I think that what Brian said is key. I think the communication aspect is it. And if you and your partner feel the same way, then you might want to explore and ask more questions, right? But just don't bite yourself in the foot. You know what I mean? Like, wait, was that the line? Don't bite yourself in the foot? Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, don't shoot yourself.
Don't bite yourself in the foot. Where'd that come
just
from?
Be making up stuff.
I just got back from one magical weekend, so I probably was biting a foot and something happened.
Ooh, you know, you never know.
No, but you know what? Have a great time. And I love that you guys are open with your sexuality like that and that you have these questions. So keep these emails coming, all right? Because we love to help you here at the FayWhat Show. Email me at faywhat@happeningout.com. And this is an important conversation for our LGBTQ+ community. Help us tell these important stories by liking